Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name is Odunola Oyeni. If you don't know how to pronounce my name, that's fine. So this is our program from College of Education. These are the kinds of program we have. That's why I'm showing this. Also, this is our website. This is the link to the website where you can see all our program. All the programs we have. If you go to this link here, you should be able to see all the programs we have in the College of Education. Also, go from all our social media. If you see here, College of Education. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and all that. So you should be able to see all our activities we have in the College of Education. We normally post everything in there. So try and follow us on social media. So thank you. Can you all see my screen? Okay. Like I said, my name is Odunola Oyeni. I'm in the school counseling program at College of Education, you see here. So, and my second presenter today, unfortunately, is not here due to some family issues. So I will be the only one presenting. Please let me know if you want me to repeat myself. If you need to hear me clearly, please try to put that in the chat box. So I will be able to read that. Do not hesitate to let me know if you have any questions. We have someone from our IT here. She will let me know in case I can't see your questions or whatever you need to ask me. We'll be talking about partnering with parents for student success. Due to my background, let me quickly share something. My background in counseling, I've worked in schools, I've worked as a career counselor, as a marriage and family, mental health counselor as well. I come across these cases all the time where parents come to counseling to talk about how their children can succeed in school. Then when we are talking about that, I realized that parents cannot do it alone. Also, teachers cannot do it alone as well. So they need to collaborate. That's why this topic is so important to me. That's why we are talking about this today. And we'll be sharing all kinds of information that might be helpful, whether you're a teacher or wherever you belong. Even as a parent, you should be able to learn one or two things from this topic on how to support your children at home. So quickly, I would like us to introduce ourselves. Just tell me your name, whether you're a parent or teachers or anything you do, just tell us, quickly share that with us. You can put that in the chat box, or if you would like to talk, it depends on you. So let's quickly get to know one another. So.
My name's Christine, and I'm a dyslexia interventionist, and I work mostly privately, but I do work with some students in their schools.
All right, thank you. So you can check chat box. A lot of people are putting their information in there.
I'm Jeannie Harrison. I'm currently an instructional coach for K through 5. So taking this to help my teachers connect better with their students for better academic success.
All right. Thank you for joining us. All right, thanks for joining, Joy, Lara, I have a lot of names in here. Kathleen, Leslie, Brittany, Kelly, Cindy, Victor, Patricia, Kimberly, Tyler, Tia, Whitney. We have a lot of people here. Thank you all for joining us. And I hope we learn from one another today. We should be able to share some cool stuff. All right. Can someone pronounce my name? Who would like to pronounce my name? I like people to learn. Firstly, I'm originally from Nigeria. So my students sometimes they find it so difficult to pronounce my name. Most of my students call me Dr. Ho. That's my name is Odun Ola, and my last name is Oyeni. So my students use the O from my last name, so they call me Dr. Ho, which I'm okay with that. But sometimes some of my students learn to pronounce my name. So my name is Odun Ola Oyeni. I would like someone to give that a try. Who would like to pronounce my name? Laura, I can see you smiling. Would you like to try? Let me put that in the chat box.
Is it Odunola?
The thing is, the N
No.
is silent. The N is silent. Yeah, the N.
Oduola.
Odunola. Yes. you do.
Oduola. Okay.
Yeah. So the N is silent in my name. A lot of people call it like that. They say Odunola, but the N is silent. So you don't call the N. Say Odunola. The U and N in my country, we call that as so we don't call that as maybe N or so. It's Odunola. Yes. And my last name is Oye. That one is easy. A lot of people pronounce that very well. Oyeni. Oyeni. Yeah. So that's my name. I put that in the chat box. Odunola Oyeni. Yeah. Let me teach you how to do that in case you come across, because I know my school, I have my kids. My kids go to school here. This is how to pronounce my name. Let me put the pronunciation. This that's my first name. Then this is my last name. So that's how to pronounce my last name. I like to teach people how to pronounce my name because I like to learn from other people as well. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. Make sure that you had that sent to everyone because I didn't see anything pop up in the chat box from you.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, maybe I'm sending that to someone else. I'm sorry. I need to send that to her. It should be for everyone. Okay. Now I see that. So can you see it? I sent it out. Okay. So I'm sorry about that. So that's my name. So we quickly go to the topic for today. How do you define parent and teacher partnership? Let's get started from there. How do you define that? How do you define parent-teacher partnership?
collaborating with the parent as the teacher and admin and all services, collaboration together.
Yeah, I think that's the key word there, collaboration. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you. Yeah, two-way communication. Someone is saying that. Yes, that's true. Reciprocal. That's true. Building a working relationship with parents for the success of the student. That is true. Yeah. Working as a team to help the student be as successful as possible. Open communication. I like that. Yes, that's how we define. I know that I have two kids. I have a 10-year-old and a 9-year-old. And every time I learn that the teacher reach out to me to let me know what is going on in my children's life, they are great, everything that you need to, even if they are having any program going on, they still reach out to us. That's communication part of it. And sometimes they let you know maybe your child is not performing well. They still reach out to you so that you can learn how to support your child at home. You know, you are trying to collaborate with them as well. So thank you all for sharing all these helpful information about parent and teacher partnerships. So here I have the parent-teacher collaboration. It is an important part of student education, which I think you all will agree with me. When a student family can communicate with their child's teacher, you know, the two sides, they can work together to build a relationship. Also, they can create an optimal learning environment, both at home and at school. Because when parents, I normally tell my students share a lot of things because I teach in the school counseling program. Most of our students, they are teachers, or some of them are already working as a full-time school counselor. We share a lot of information about something related to parent-teacher partnership. Let me ask a question. When you give, if you're a teacher here and you give your student a homework, you ask your child to do some homework, bring it back the following day, and the child is coming back to school without completing the homework. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
They either didn't do it or they lost it and the parent doesn't know it's supposed to be done in the first place.
Correct. But if the student continue doing that for, like, you notice the first time, second time, third time, fourth, fifth, sixth, and it has become a continuous thing, what will you do? Another other classmate, they are submitting their assignment, but this particular student keep coming back to school without bringing the homework, without doing it. As a teacher, what will you do? Contact the parents. The question of why, it depends on the student. There must have been something that kept them from being able to do the work. Yes. Yeah, I wonder what is going on at home. Yes. I will do the same thing. I will have to. Yeah, Amanda, I totally agree. Yeah, some parents, they don't have the time. We'll be talking about that as well. We have some section that talk about this where they don't have the time. That is true. Contact the parent. Yeah, thank you, Winnie. Yeah, I think, Caroline, I believe it is time to contact the parent. I will do the same thing. I will contact the parent. Yes, I will do the same thing. I would like to know what is going on. Like maybe the parents are busy, or just to know what is going on so that we can be able to work together and support that child. All right, thank you all for sharing. I don't know. Can you all see, can you see my screen? Melissa, please, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
I'm trying to. Okay. So let's talk about what literature says about the parent-teacher partnerships. For decades, researchers have pointed to one key success factor that play a vital role between socioeconomic status and student background, or the kinds of school a student attend. This is parental involvement. So when a researcher believes that before you can say anything about a child, you need to look at their background. That when I asked a question the last time, a lot of people said that they will need to know what is going on at home. Someone also shared that a parent has already shared something similar, that they don't have the time. So background, we need to put that into consideration as well when we are working with our students. Sometimes the background might be different from when we have like 20 students in our class. They all have different background. So they come from different homes, they come from different backgrounds, their socioeconomic status of their parents, they are different as well. We need to put this into consideration when we are working with our students. Also, parental involvement. It also sets students up to develop a lifelong love for learning, which researchers also said that is a key to long-term success. When you have a parent at home that's willing to support you, even as a teacher, you can see the difference between that child and another child that does not have a parent at home that will support them. So that's why most times when your child is not performing well, we need to do our findings and know the reason for that. Where are your parents? What kind of job do they do? Sometimes when the parents are so busy and they don't have the time to support their children, this might affect their academic performance and other factors at school as well. Sometimes even when you ask the parent to see you, maybe to parent-teacher conference, a lot of parents might not have the time. They might be willing to be there, but the time is not there. Maybe due to the nature of their job, we need to put this into consideration as well. That is why communication is very important. I will also continue with what literature says, according to Institute for Women's Policy Research. I find out that the extent to which schools nurture positive relationships with families, it makes all the difference. The way you communicate with family, the way you reach out to them to let them know what is going on in their child's life, it makes all the difference. Because sometimes, let's go back to if a parent does not have the time to check their child's own work or anything, and the teacher also is not reaching out to them, they might not know how their child is performing at school. So that is why it is very important to nurture that relationship. This Institute for Women Policy Research also says something like, students whose parents stay involved in school, they have better attendance and behavior. They get better grades. They also demonstrate better social skills, and they adapt better to school. This goes back to if parents get involved, in school activities that we can see all these factors, how their child is performing in class, their grades, how they demonstrate social skills at school, and how they adapt better to school. So we can see all these factors due to the way parents relate with their child. This to how they get involved in their children's education. Please, if you have any questions or anything, put it in the chat box. Another findings, this is from Houston, 1995-96. This particular person, she'll focus on parent and teachers partnership. And there is a framework which contains 6 important parental involvement factors. This person calls the framework School Family Community Partnership Model. That's the name of the framework. This framework is based on findings from many studies of what factors are most effective when we are talking about children's education. And the 6 factors are parenting, communication, volunteering, learning at home, decision-making from parent, and community collaboration. The researcher believe that these factors, they play an important role when we are talking about how a child performs in school, and how they relate with their classmates, how they behave in school, and all other factors. That these particular 6 factors, they play an important role. The studies are from 1995. She also published again in 1996, another one in 2001, another one in 2003, and another one in 2009. So she's trying to develop the model to let people know the factors that play vital role when we are talking about parent and teacher involvement. Then another one from the researcher is Kreuzberg and Veland. They share that the National PTA, that's the Parent Teacher Association, they found that 3 key parent behavior are the most accurate predictors of student success. And the first predictor is creating a home environment that encourages learning. How do we create an environment that encourages learning? Can someone share that with us? What do you think? How do you think a parent can create a home environment that encourages learning for their children?
They can set up certain times for studying, have an area where they do their schoolwork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this is a lot of people. I do that when my kids come back from school. I first, do you have any homework? Said no, we don't have. Or yes, we have. Okay, maybe do this. After doing this, then this is the time for you to do your homework. So we need to create that learning and the home environment that encourages learning for our children. That maybe sit here, maybe where they will not be able to have distraction, watching TV when they are supposed to do their homework. These are the things we need to put into consideration. Also, communicating yet reasonable expectation for achievement. How do we do this? How do you think parents can achieve this? How do they communicate expectation for achievement? Someone like to say something about that? How can parents communicate expectation for achievement? Set goals, boundaries regarding work and playtime, okay, yeah. Yes. Yeah, parents can set goal with teachers can set goal. I know a lot of teachers at the beginning of the semester, they let parents know, they set information about their background, their names and everything. And they share a lot of things they would like the children to learn. And every week they do this as well. So parents need to communicate just to know what is going on. I think that's one of the purpose of parent-teacher conference, to let parents know how their child is performing at school, and parent can also ask any questions they have. Then the third one is staying involved in a child's education at school. That we can relate that back to parent-teacher conference as well, and some other activities where parents can be able to get involved in their children's education. Because if you are not getting involved, you will not know how your child is performing. You will not know how to support your child. And this is where teachers need to reach out to parents, and parents need to play their role as well, because teachers can't do it alone. When teacher is reaching out to parents and parents are not playing their part, things might not work out. So both parties need to work together and make sure that things are going the way it's supposed to be. So the National Parent-Teacher Association said that when this happens, the motivation, the behavior, and academic performance of all children at a particular school improve. That when these three behavior, when they come into place, that the academic performance of children at a particular school will improve. And we can all agree, to some extent, at least they might see a lot of positive changes among the children. So the better the partnership between school and home, the better the school and the higher the student achievement across the board. This is from another researcher as well. So the more you collaborate, the more you work together with the teacher, teaching your children, the more teachers work together with parents, the better the school, the higher the student achievement across the board as well. So this is another findings. So. Okay, this is another section. Why do you think parent-teacher partnership important in schools? Why is this important? Parent-teacher partnership. Why it is important at school? Yeah, to help build students need to know about their family. Build trust and good relationship. Kids are more invested if their children are involved. That's very true. Students need to know that their parent and teacher are on the same ground. I agree, because when parent and teacher from partnership, it can improve the behavior. Yes, the relationship are allowed for students to help the student at home. Yes, it takes everyone involved in the student's life to help the students succeed. Yeah, that's why I think one of the Africans proverbs says, it takes a village to raise a child. Yes, that's true. Without a partnership, school can be seen as an obstacle rather than a resource for success. Yes. Yeah. Thanks for sharing all this helpful information. Yeah, parent and teacher, they need to work together. They need to. And this is something that we need to keep advocating for. This parent and teacher need to work together. When they are not working together, things might not work. We don't need to deceive ourselves. Parents, they have in a class, if a teacher has something like, a teacher is having 20 students, they have a lot of jobs already. They have a lot of things to do already. and they can't do everything. That is why parents need to play their role as well, because when they are asking your child to do something and they are not doing it, the teacher, they have other kids they need to attend to. Your child is not the only child they are teaching. They still have other kids. So parents need to play their role. If they are not playing their role, if they are not working together, the success might not, we might not be able to achieve what we are really looking for. So this is why teacher need to let parents know this at the beginning of the semester, what they need to do, how they can support them, and how parents can work with their children at home. Okay, let me quickly play this YouTube video.
Students learn best when educators at school and family members at home work together to support education. That approach pays off right away and for years in the future.
Students do better in school when the parent is involved with school. They're more likely to graduate. They're more likely to go to college. They're more likely to have a lasting career.
This powerful homeschool partnership is called family engagement.
Family engagement simply means building authentic, collaborative relationships between parents, family members, the students, and the community for the success of all children.
In this video, we focus on this shared responsibility and show what families can do to partner effectively with educators. Family engagement is key to the Virginia tiered systems of supports. The framework is called different names in different school districts, but the goal is the same: to create effective learning environments for all students. It provides distinct levels of supports that improve success in academics, behavior, and social emotional wellness. Tier 1 services are for all students. Tier 2 services are for students who need help to strengthen specific skills. Tier 3 services are for students who need intensive, individualized services.
The multi-tiered systems of support really is about providing the supports for the students, and in some cases, supports for the family that help wrap around a kid, wrap around a family to make sure that that student can have success.
Schools use 6 components to guide family engagement in the multi-tiered approach. These practices strengthen family and school partnerships and improve outcomes for all students. A good working relationship lets families and schools focus on the needs of students in ways that pay off. Here are some tips and strategies families can use to engage with schools.
Be present in the school as often as you can. Show appreciation for the people that work with your children, the cafeteria staff, the janitors, the office staff, the clinic, anyone that your child engages with.
I would suggest that you be very intentional and reach out to the school. Do not wait for them to reach out to you. Be very proactive and sharing with the school your desires, your hopes, and your dreams.
Que vengan a apoyar como a ayudar en lo que la escuela cuando hace eventos.
I know a lot of times you might see, oh, the moms are always engaging, but for a dad, it's beneficial as well. I mean, I've attended events, and sometimes I'm the only father there, but I feel like it shows in terms for not only the teacher, but the admin staff and even the students when you attend, that it's good to have, a father there.
It can be a challenge if you had a bad experience or a non-pleasant experience as a child with school yourself, but coming at it with an open mind will ensure that you want something different for your child. Sometimes we as parents have to realize, okay, the system might have failed me, but I don't want the system to fail my child. So let me reach out instead.
Learning how to actively support their children's learning and success at school is one way families build empowerment.
You don't know what you don't know, which means going to schools and saying, tell me more about why is something happening? What should I be asking you about that I haven't asked about yet?
If you're not feeling welcomed in your school, your child's school, I would encourage you to have a conversation with the administration. Share with them and give examples of what it felt like or what you're sensing or seeing within the school.
It's really important for parents and parent leaders to work closely with the school, especially in communities that have very diverse needs. A lot of times we see from one year to the next, even the needs might change. We're constantly trying to refine what we're doing and find new ways to engage everybody.
Strong schools unite families and school staff in shared leadership and decision-making.
Something that families can do is join a committee at a school or the PTA, but be in some type of position where they can make decisions or give suggestions.
We have a parent advisory council. We call it our PAC team. We want to get our parents involved and see what problems we have so that they can come up with solutions.
Schools and families should work together to set engagement goals that are based on school and student data, and crucially, information and insights from families.
There's always a story behind numbers, and being informed as a parent helps you understand and add your voice to the story.
When there are opportunities to take surveys, by all means, fill them out and take them. All of those answers definitely add up and can then be used as concrete data to implement change.
So when we get the surveys and take the time to complete the surveys, as parents, we always like to see the results and get the data of what our community felt. The thing I really appreciate about seeing the data is it gives the opportunity to point out areas that we can really use for improvement.
Finding the right ways to communicate and the right supports for each student are key goals of family engagement.
It's important to establish face-to-face communications with your teachers, especially when your child starts a new school year or a new level. It's also important that once you establish those face-to-face interactions, that you are able to then follow up with communications that are more convenient to you and the teacher's schedule.
Call, email, text. I would say get involved because your child needs you there. Your child needs you as your advocate.
If your child has reached tier 2, tier 3 level of support, you're going to find a greater need to be in the school, calling the school, speaking with your students' teachers, school counselor, social worker. You might be asked to attend meetings.
Effective problem solving is key when families and schools collaborate to solve challenges in meeting the needs of students who require more support.
If your family is experiencing some difficult times, or if your child has experienced some traumatic events, it's important for the school to know that and for the teacher to know that, because it's going to impact the child in their day. And the teacher is going to respect that information. They're going to keep it confidential and they're going to use it to help problem solve. And that's it.
Try to find someone at your school that you will be able to actually talk to, that you're comfortable with. Because once you find that one person can help you achieve so much more.
We're here to make a difference. And the way we make that difference is in collaboration with you as a family member, as a parent. I don't know what your child is going through at home, but it's my job to make sure that while they're here, they're successful. And the only way I can do that is by having honest dialogue with you.
Keep your mind on the main thing, and the main thing is the student and their success. It's not about me, it's not about you, it's about the student.
Que los papás estén involucrados en las actividades académicas, en la actividad deportiva, en la academia, en todas las áreas que necesitan nuestros hijos para salir adelante. Teachers can't do it alone. They need us so that we can let them know who our children are, because we know our children, and we need to make sure that the teachers know our children as well, so that they're fully supported in that classroom.
Stand up and say, yes, I care, and because I care, I am coming forward with this issue. And once we communicate, then our problems can be solved.
We want students, when they get out of school, regardless of where they go, we want them to be well-rounded, want to be able to problem solve, want to be able to communicate, and be able to resolve conflict. If we're not modeling that at the parent school level, how are the kids going to learn those tools they need for life?
Family engagement does lead to family empowerment. The value in families being connected to what's going on in the school is that their children will be more successful. And that's what we're looking for. That's our goal is for students to succeed.
Learn about strategies educators can use to strengthen family-school partnerships in these other short films produced by Formed Families Forward.
Okay. So what stand out to you from the video we just watched? Is there anything that stand out to you from the video?
Students look.
Yeah, I wish everyone, yeah, every parent, I agree. Yeah, if they can watch, they should be able to learn how important it is to be part of their child's education. Collaboration. Okay, the video. Yeah, I can send you the link. Or do you have the link? Hi, Morgan, do you have the link or do you want me to send you the link? Okay, yeah. I will send the link. Yeah. I think more parents would like to be involved with their children's education, but don't know how to get involved. Oh, that's a good point there. That is a good point. That is cool, yeah. So Joy, I'm trying, let me ask you a question. So how have you been trying to get in touch with the parents so that they can join this program you are planning? What strategies have you been using to invite the parents? Amanda shared that parents are always more involved at the elementary level than we need them at the secondary. Yeah, the more the child is going higher, the more things become tough. Yeah, I agree. We need them. They need to get involved. Okay, class dojo. Okay, take home folders, volunteer on field trips. Okay, yeah. I remember my kids' school used class dojo. I think last year or last 2 years, I think. Oh, okay. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, COVID is that is tough. COVID did it changed everything. COVID changed almost everything. Yeah, seesaw part where parents can comment on student work. Yes, I've used that before as well. I agree. Yes. All right, thank you for sharing. So why are parent-teacher partnership important in schools? This is something related to the video we just watched. Parents are their children lifelong promoters of development and learning. From the video, that someone shared that he said something like, I don't know your child. I don't know anything about your child. And it's true. Parents, they know their child more than the teachers because children spend more time with their parents compared to the teacher. Now, this is summer. Parents will be at home for roughly 3 months. So parents, they know their children. They know their capacity. They know what they can learn. They know how strong they are. They know their learning capacity and everything. So this is why they need to collaborate with the teachers, because sometimes teachers don't really know much. Teacher, we have them from, let's say from 8 a.m. to like 3 p.m. That's it. But they will go back home. Parents know their children. So this is why the collaboration is very important. And then working together ensure a good understanding of a child's needs. This will also lead to appropriate provision within the setting and the possibility of supporting learning in the home. When parents work together with the teacher, this will improve learning. Then through communication across home and school, parent and teacher can share information. They can use ClassDojo, they can use different, I know my kids' school use, what's the name of the, let me confirm that. They use Remind. So a lot of teachers send information through Remind, and I have the app, so I can see everything going on in my children's life, the way they are performing at school, what I need to know. If there's any activities going on, I should be able to read that there, unless I'm not checking it. So I have the apps, and they encourage all the parents to have the apps on their phone as well. Also check your email. Make sure you have email, because a lot of teachers, they send information through emails. Make sure you are part of your children's education. I know that teachers, they normally say this at the beginning of every academic year. So through communication, parent and teacher can share information about children's progress. They can also discuss the needs and interests to find the right opportunities to promote learning experiences. So by having more contact with parents, teachers learn more about students' needs and home environment, which is information they can apply towards better meeting those needs. If I can share information about my kids to their teachers, for example, if I let them know that this is my lifestyle, I work overnight, I don't normally stay at home, this is what is going on in my life, teacher will understand that, oh, I think this is the reason why this child don't always submit the homework, because the parent is always at home. Then they can think of how to give you suggestion on what you need to do. That, why can't you do this? Do you have a friend? Do you have a sister or brother or other family member that can support, that can help you? Maybe immediately your child is leaving the school, they can just go to them, so that your child will have someone to supervise them so that they can complete their homework. So when you open up to teachers and let them know what is going on, teacher will be able to think of the solution, how they can help you. I normally tell my students as well, if something is going on in your life, maybe you are sick, you're having some emergency, if you don't tell me, I will not know. I won't know how to support you. So communication is very important. So we do this at home as well. Even family, we need to communicate. The same way we communicate with our family members, we need to communicate with our children teachers as well. If you don't communicate with them, they know nothing. They might not know how to support you. And teachers do have suggestion. If you let them know what is going on at home, I believe they have suggestion. This is their field. They are good at what they do. But if you don't tell them what is going on at home, you don't let them know the background of your child, they might not be able to support that child. We also talk about the academic benefits of parent-teacher partnership. According to Murano and some other authors, the research shows that parental involvement can free teachers to focus more on teaching children. When parents get involved, Teachers will know everything about that child, and that will, it will reduce them some stress to some extent, so that they will know what to do and at the right time. Also, by having more contact with parents, teachers learn more about student needs and home environment, which is information they can apply towards better meeting those needs. Information communication is very important. Family and community engagement, they increase the student likelihood of learning and thriving. Students are more prepared for school. They are more likely to achieve and more likely to graduate. As someone shared that in the video we watch as well, when supported by schools, family, and communities, when they work together in a coordinated manner. That is school, teachers, and parents, and the community as well. When they work together, this will positively impact students' academic achievement. Questions? Any questions? Thank you for sharing that, Amanda. Someone share, no families prefer way to communicate, email, phone. Yes, I totally agree. One of my students shared something regarding that she normally send email to a parent, and she noticed that the parent don't get back. And she's trying to let them know how they can support their child, but they don't get back. That means they don't use the email. So yeah, know the preferred way to communicate. That is very important too. Whether it's phone, whether you need to call them, to email them, or if they need to come and visit so that you can sit down and talk. That is very important. So parent involvement at conferences, volunteering at school, and community programs, helping with homework, or simply encouraging student achievement provide an opportunity for children to gain more achievement, improve school attendance, and increase cooperative behavior. It also enriches school retention. This is according to Century and Cumming 2023. This is a new research. I was reading the findings 2 days ago, and I learned a lot of things from this new study. So when parents volunteer at school, I remember from my kids' school normally send email, they're having work run on Tuesday and Thursday, and they want parents to volunteer. They want parents to be there. And when they're having other programs as well as school, they send email. They let us know that we should sign up so that we can volunteer for that. So this encourages the children. Oh, my mom will be there. My dad will be there. So I need to be there as well. I need to behave well. I need to do the right thing. All these play an important role on the way children behave at school and the way they relate, the way they perform academically as well. So these are some of the benefits of parent engagement. The benefits to the students. When parents get involved, when they collaborate with teachers, it might lead to higher grades, test scores, and graduation rates. It can also lead to the better school attendance. It can also increase motivation and better self-esteem. It can also lower rates of suspension from school when parents get involved. Because you get involved, you know how your child is behaving at school. This will allow you to know that, oh, if there's something you need to work on at home, the information you are receiving from the teacher will help you to do that. It can also decrease use of drugs and alcohol. How do you think parent involvement can decrease use of drugs and alcohol. Let's quickly talk about that. Some parent involvement, decrease use of drugs and alcohol. Yes, yeah. The more you know, Lara said, the more you know about your child, the better equip you are to address bad behavior. Yeah. Yes. Mhm. That's a good point. Yeah. And parents, they know their children, they know them. There are some things, if you tell me that my son, yeah, this is, I would like to let you know that your son behaves like this at school, I might say, no, that can't be my son. But there are some things if we tell me, I will say, no, I can't argue that. That is true. So we know that we know our children. So, and the more you know about your child, if teacher is communicating with the parent and parent is doing the right thing they're supposed to do at the right time, this will help the child. That might help you to know that, oh, this is what my child is doing. This is what I need to work on. Yes, that is true. When parents are involved, you let the kids know that the parents care what is going on in their lives. Definitely. Mhm. Yes. Yeah, get to know their friends. That is very important. Get to know their friends. Where they are, where are they working, where are their friends, where are they hanging out with? All these things we need to know. Yes, if parents are truly involved, yes. If they are involved, they get to know, yes. And when you collaborate, teacher knows some things as well. They know their friends, maybe during research, they know the friends your kids hang out with. They can let you know that this is what we notice. Then if you are noticing something similar at home, then you can both work together and see how you can support that child. Thank you for sharing. It can also lead to fewer instances of violent behavior. That's the benefit to the student. Then benefit to the school. It can improve teacher morale. Yes. When children behave well, improve teacher morale. Teacher will be happy. They will be willing to do their job. They will feel so proud. It can also lead to higher ratings of teacher by parents, more support from families, higher student achievement, and a better reputation in the community. Yeah, this is the benefit to school and benefits to students as a result of parent and teacher engagement. This is something I would like us to talk about. What are the problems you think impacting parent-teacher partnership? What are the problems impacting parent-teacher partnership? Which problem can you think of impacting the way parents partner with the teachers? Yeah, busy schedules, difficult to get in touch with parents. Yes, time. Work schedules, yes. Parents never owning up to their children's mistakes or their child is wrong. Definitely. That can be a problem. Miscommunication. Schedules, yes. Work schedules interfere, yes. Yeah, schedules play an important role. Yeah, when they need you to show up and you don't have the time to be there. So teacher might not be able to share what they are willing to share. And sometimes they would like to see you and talk to you. So that they prefer seeing you face to face compared to like sending you an email or talking to you through the apps. They would like you to be there, especially during the parent-teacher conference. This is what they do. They tell you about your child's performance, how they are doing in class, the way they behave, and so on and so forth. Then you have the opportunity to ask them questions. But sometimes when the parent don't have the time, they might not be able to do that. Yes, I totally agree. I agree with Christian. Yes. Yes. Yeah, when parents are busy, sometimes when people are busy, they don't have the time, even though they would have loved to, but the time is not there. Yes. Parents are updating contact info, changing phone numbers frequently. Yes. Parents get tired of having sped conferences. That's another good point. All right, thank you for sharing. So I have some of the problems that we can add that to all the things you've shared. School leaders, policymakers, and community members, they've struggled to adequately develop and implement programs beneficial to the academic success of low-income and minority students that can incorporate parental involvement. Sometimes they struggle, and some of the factors might be time. Some parents work 3 jobs because they need to, that's the only way they can provide for their family. They work from morning to night. The time is not there. The only little time they have, they need to rest. So they might not have time to come to parent-teacher conference. They might not have time to check their emails. They might not have time to pick your calls and some other factors. So this might be a problem on how to get to know how their child is doing at school. But nevertheless, countless forms of research show the academic benefit of parental involvement in all student education. Yeah, when you get involved, they believe that this can create, it can create an avenue for your child to develop both physically, academically, and emotionally when you get involved in your child's education. Another problem, one of the main reasons that conflicts occur is a difference between the parent viewpoints and the teacher's goal for their students. When direct communication is unavailable, wars can get turned around and people can escalate issue unnecessarily. Yeah, a lot of people might not get what the teacher is trying to, I do hear from my students. Sometimes parents will come to them, they will tell them that I heard you are saying this to my child, and that's not what they really meant. So it is important to get to know what teacher is trying to tell you. If something is not clear, try to ask questions. So communication is very important. So when parents are not doing the right, maybe they are not checking their emails, they are not reading they don't have the help the school encourage them to have, they might not be able to get all the necessary information they're supposed to get. So that's why a lot of people escalate issues unnecessarily because they are not following the information they're supposed to get. Also, most parents would like to help their children learn, but they may be unable to do so due to various challenges. The first one might be financial problems and limited access to learning materials, which are considered the key barriers that obstruct parental involvement. A lot of people, the financial challenges might be there. How do you think financial problems can impact student education? Can someone give us an example of how financial issues can impact a child's education?
I'll talk because typing would take me too long. But when assigning projects, like I can remember growing up in elementary school, a lot of teachers come from middle class backgrounds, and so they kind of think through a middle class lens. And when doing projects, sometimes kids can easily go buy products and create this masterpiece, and other children can't find glue at home, and so just things like that, keeping that in mind. Maybe the parent only goes to the store once a week, and has everything very strictly budgeted for. And so budget-friendly projects would be ideal, but I think teachers with good intentions just don't consider that aspect sometimes.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. What you share reminds me of when I was in Texas. There was a program, they normally do that program for if you're immigrant, because they believe that sometimes immigrant parents, they don't have some of their children, they might not have the opportunity to do something related to exactly what you shared. That's what the teacher shared with us, that most parents, they are from maybe low income, they don't have a lot of money, especially when they are immigrants. They are coming here, they are just trying to put their feet together. They don't have, some of them don't even have the job. But if they have the job, they don't have a lot of money. The only money they have, they pay bills, house rents, and other bills. Then they don't have a lot of money to buy some things for their children to use at school. And this creates a barrier on how their children can learn. If you give them project, they might not have the money to buy the necessary things their children need to use to get the assignment done. So yeah, they say something that teachers need to, they need to consider that whenever they are working with children. So you might even ask them, will you be able to, you can email the parents if they will be able to afford that. Then that's why we have Dollar Tree. They can be able to, they can go there to get some $1.25 items instead of going to like Walmart. So that might be affordable if they can do that. Yes, yes. Yeah, parents, yeah, and I know a lot of teachers, they do that. Because my students normally share that in class, that they do that most of the time. They use their money to get some stuff for their children. Yeah, they do that most of the time. And yeah, and they do that from their salary too. So from, they have a lot of responsibilities as well, and they still need to remove from that. A lot of children will take it home, they won't bring it back. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes when they take it home and they don't return that back to school, some parents can still take that as an offense. If teacher keep asking that, hey, I asked you to take this home and you are not returning it. So how do I get this back? So that's what if teachers should do that for the first time, the second time, they might get tired. They might not do that again. Yes. So yeah, it's hard. But this is something teacher might need to put into consideration. And when it's time for projects, not all families will be able to afford the things their kids need to get the activities done. So they need to put this into consideration. So yeah, I've talked about the financial problem, also limited access to learning materials. A lot of people don't have, I remember during COVID, most parents said they don't have internet at home. So their children cannot use computer at home. So I remember that some schools, they provide internet access to some parents. They send something like survey at that time. They asked all the parents, do you have internet at home? When children are learning from home. So that if you don't have internet at home, because they are giving Chromebooks to our children so that they can support you on how to get internet. So a lot of parents don't have that at home, and this can impact their children's learning. Okay, another thing I would like to share is school districts, they recognize the importance of strong parent and family engagement. However, hours of availability, we've talked about that. A lot of people share that when we were talking about the challenges that can impact parent teachers, partnerships. Technology, this is something I just shared. Language barriers. This is a critical factor too when we're talking language barriers. Because I remember when I came to the United States for my master's program, the culture is different. So the way teachers communicate with you is quite different from my country. And I do hear that from other parents as well. Other parents are immigrants. So they say something similar to that. So when you are communicating with parents, you need to put into consideration the language barriers. Or if you have immigrants in your school, take note of that as well, because the language barriers, and some people don't even speak English. Yeah, some parents don't speak English. So if you, and they don't have anyone speaking English at home, they might not have. Maybe their child is the only one that can speak English. I've heard a lot of things about that. A lot of parents, they are like that. They don't speak English. They are in the United States, they are just learning English and they can't speak yet. They can't speak English, they can't write. So when you send something to them and you think that they will be able to read, they should be able to get back to you, but they can't read what you send to them. So teacher might be thinking that the parents are not interested in their children's education. Meanwhile, they can't read the information you send to them. This is why getting the background information for students at the beginning of the academic year is very important, so that you can know that if their parents can speak English, if they can write, then that might help you to get to know them in case you need to send information to them. So language barrier and cultural differences, this can also affect communication between parents and teachers and make it difficult to form relationships. Yeah. Because sometimes you don't speak English, it might be hard to form relationship with your child's teacher, because they can't understand you and you can't understand them. So communication barrier, so language barrier, this is a serious issue. I think here we don't have a lot of immigrants in Conway or in Arkansas, but in Texas, when I was in Texas, we have a lot of immigrants. A lot of immigrants and a lot of people, they can't speak English and they can't write. So that's why I think Spanish over there, they have some teachers that speak Spanish. So as they are communicating with parents, they have English version and they also have Spanish version. So they ask you, which one will you prefer? So that you can understand what they are trying to tell you about your children's academic background. So. Okay, let's talk about some activities to involve parents at school. What are the activities you think schools can incorporate to involve parents in their children's education? Family nights, I like that. I like that. Team family night, I really like that. That sounds cool. I like that. STEM night, elementary school, awards, assembly. Yeah, I think, yeah, I don't have kids in high school yet, but I think that might be true, because then the children are growing, they have different activities, they have games, sports nights, parents need to be there. Maybe that might be one of the factors that parents don't get involved so well when their kids get to high school. The cultural day and career day, free trips, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like the cultural day part. I haven't been, I would have loved if they can do something like that in my kids' school. where they showcase different culture. Kids can learn from, they can learn about the culture of their classmates. That would have been cool. Book fairs, yes. Your family FAFSA night for juniors and seniors. Okay, mystery readers in K-2 classes. That's cool. And parents can come there and be part of that. That's awesome. Senior nights. Job fair. Parents have demos about their job. That is so cool. Is that in high school? The job fair? That should be in high school, right?
No, it was it was called the Great American Teach-In that Florida does, that it's K through high school, that there's one day that you enlist parents to come in and they do different little talks about their jobs. We had community places like Chick-fil-A would come in and do stuff, things like that.
Wow, that's lovely. I love that. That's so cool. Wow. Okay, I have some examples here. Thank you all for sharing. The first thing I would like to share is welcome in different languages. The first time parents come into the classroom, they should feel welcome. Maybe they can use something like a poster where they have welcome in different languages, Spanish, in other languages as well, and Chinese, and maybe in some African languages. It depends on, that might depend on the types of children the teacher is having in his classes. So they can use that, put that in your classroom, but when the teacher comes in, and when the parent comes in, they can see that, that might encourage them that, oh, this is a welcoming environment. Then expressing welcome in different languages based on the family's background is a great way to do this. You can do it to specifically suit your student background or other common languages around the world. You can just use the background of your students. Maybe you know where your children are coming from. Maybe 2 of my students are from Africa, 2 are from Chinese, 2 are from India, and maybe you have like 8 students from different cultural backgrounds that you can use their languages, and you put that in your classroom. The parents can come in and you can ask them to read that, which one is your language? Do you understand what that means? What does that mean? They can even explain to you that, oh, this means welcome in my language. Then I think parents will appreciate that. So teachers can do that at the beginning of the semester. At the beginning of, yeah. Then open house tour. This is the most popular event of the year for teachers. It is an excellent chance for the parent to come into your classroom and meet the person educating their children. I know I do this every year, so this is so common. They also get a chance to see the environment that their child will be in. So they come in, they see the classroom. A lot of teachers will put the child's name, they've already arranged the chairs and the tables. So they have the children's name on each table. So children can see their chairs, their tables, their partners as well. They know what they will be sitting with. So this is so cool. Parents that can come in and they get to know the teachers as well. Teachers can share information about themselves. I remember when I went for the open house last year, I met my kids teacher and we talk about my background, my career, and they share a lot of cool things about themselves as well. I think this is a great way to get to know your students' parents, their background as well. Parent curriculum. Just like a child, we have their curriculum for the year. Teachers should hand out a parent version, if possible, if they have the time to do that. I think my kids teacher, they normally send this to us. They send something like this every week so that we know what they will be covering each week. This should align with what the kids are doing, so they are involved in their children education. So I get this almost every week from my kids' teachers. So they send this to me every week. So I know what they covered in maths, in science, in social studies, in PE, in art, in reading, and so on and so. So I get to know everything. Field trips with parents. So at the beginning of the year, set the field trip calendar with open slots next to each one. I receive emails about this as well. So they ask us to sign up for field trips. We pay some token that we have to join the kids whenever, if I have the time, I normally like to do that. I have parents sign up for the field trip they want to volunteer for. This is a great bonding activities for the kids and their parents and guardians. And having rotating adults also help kids build relationships with other parents and guardians. I remember when I joined my kids' field trips, I was able to talk to a lot of children. They told me about their parents' jobs, their background, and everything. And my kids, they did the same. They talked to other parents as well. Work together assignments. Sometimes sending home assignment for both the kids and the parent is a great idea. The parent can be involved in knowing that the kids are learning while helping them learn. This is a great opportunity for teachers, and it's also important for the kids. So my kids teacher, they do this as well. Sometimes when they send home assignment, they let me know. They send email to us that, oh, the kids are coming home with so-so assignment. Please help them. It's math. Help them. In case they are struggling with their own work, please support them. They let us know. So when the kids are doing it, I ask them, do you need help? If they need help, I need to check. And if there's something I can explain to them, I have to explain. But if they don't need my help, then I allow them to do it by themselves. So this is also important for parents to get to know what their kids are doing at school. My family tree. So making a family tree is also a great activity for kids, parents, and guardians. This helps the teacher understand a little more about the child's background. It is also important for child to understand their background as well. My grandma, my grandpa, my father, my mother, my siblings, my niece, they get to know everything about their background. So it is a great educational experience. It is good for parents, for guardians, and also good for kids. So they get to know themselves. They also get to know about their classmates. Because their classmates, you can give them as homework. You ask them to come out and say something about their family background. My grandma, my grandpa, we are from so-so place. They migrated to the United States. And here, they got to, they ask their parents questions, and they come back to class and share that to the teachers and their classmates. Also, this is on extracurricular volunteers. You ask parents to volunteers. I do this all the time as well. Sport and art. They need help when teacher cannot fill this position. The teachers have a lot of things they are doing. They work a lot. They need people to help them. So when you need help, ask parents to volunteer. Ask them to sign up for different activities. They can spend 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It depends on the amount of times you need. And some parents, if they have the time, they will be happy to. So always, there's always plenty of space and opportunity for parents to get involved outside of academics. This is also good for parents to get involved and help coach or direct certain music and art programs. So when you need parents, let them know. We know that some might not have time, but some will definitely have the time to join you. So send information to them and ask them to sign up. Questions of the month. Parents may have questions, but sometimes need to remember to email them in or reach out to teachers. So let's go back to what we discussed earlier. A lot of people, they are so busy due to the nature of their jobs. They might not remember to ask the teacher the questions they have. So when you send out an email to remind them that they need to submit their questions for the month, this may be a great way to stay in touch throughout the year. And this will help you to ensure that everyone is on the same page. So maybe every month you can ask them to send their questions. They can give it to their child can drop it in the box. So you should be able to, you pick the question and you read. If you need to send back the answer to them, you can email them or you can call them or you can ask them to come see you in your office. So yeah, questions of the month. Some schools, they do that all the time. This is Latin student. Is it, how do they pronounce it? Cinco de Mayo or something, celebration. I have a lot of friends that's Hispanic. So when they celebrate this, one of my friends told me that it is a great way to, that they feel so encouraged. They feel so proud that this is our culture, that we are here, this is us, this is what we do. So they value this celebration a lot. And this is a great opportunity to teach children about diverse cultures. So when you do this, other children from different cultural backgrounds can also join and they learn from other cultures as well. They can share stories, they tell them the story behind this celebration. Other kids will be able to learn. So teaching students about traditions beyond the ones they might have grown up with, it is a great way to encourage, it helps them to show empathy to people and also to understand between cultures. So people will learn, my son used to tell me a lot of stories. I learned this from my classmates about their culture. And I think it is a cool way to let kids know that, we are diverse. We can also learn from one another. We have different cultures. So, and there was a time they asked my son to share about Africans, and he came here and he asked me a lot of questions about Nigeria, because we are from Nigeria. Their mom, could you please tell me about Nigeria, the food, the way we dress, what we eat? And I asked to explain to them. And he went back to class and shared that to his classmates. So this is a great way to let students learn from their classmates. They learn from their culture. There is a community-based prevention program. I think someone shared something related to this earlier on. The aim is to prevent social issues such as drug misuse, violence, and crime from occurring in the community. It helps foster positive behaviors. It builds early relationships, and it also promotes social norms that discourage harmful activities. Example might be community meetings to address gun violence. So where they invite parents will come together, they share a lot of information, they will be able to, their opinions count as well. But teachers need to reach out to them to let them know what is going on. There's a program coming up. Someone shared that in the video, that when they send a survey home, please try to participate. If you don't participate, they might not really know what they need to do. So your voice can send your message in. When they send a survey to parents, make sure that you say something. So that will help them to implement changes. So we need to let parents know this. So when there's a program, they should be willing to participate. So I'm coming to the end of this presentation. These are the references I used. If you want the PowerPoint, I can send it out. There's no problem with that. Also, the link to the video, someone asked me for that. I can also share that with you. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. I really appreciate that. Thank you for spending part of your precious time with me. I would like to leave you with this quote. Therefore, productive collaboration between family and school. We demand that parents and teachers recognize the critical importance of each other's participation in the child's life. This is from Sarah Lawrence Lightfoot. It's from Harvard University. So always remember this, whether you're a parent or teachers, on how as you continue to support your children. So thank you all for your time. This is my contact information. I'm in the school counseling program, Department of Leadership Studies. I'm in Marshburn 219. This is my email in case you have any questions for me about this topic, about our program, or about any other program from the College of Education. Please feel free to reach out to me. Questions for me? Questions?